Yeah, please introduce yourself so that my audience can know about you.
Yeah. So my name is Puneet. I'm from Mangalore, Karnataka, Mangalore city, Karnataka state. So coming to
Okay.
my work, I'm working as a medical representative in a pharmaceutical company. So yeah, I've been working here for around 2 years, around 2 years
Okay.
now. Yeah.
So you're from Mangalore. I mean, is it your native or you're just working there?
Mangalore. I'm from Mangalore, not Bangalore.
Mangalore.
Mangalore.
No, no, no. Yeah,
Mangalore.
Mangalore. I know.
Oh yeah.
Mangaluru. I know. It's a
Yeah.
beach city, right?
Visit. Yeah. Yeah. Good
Where
city.
you have good seafood.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
a good city.
I visited Mangalore once, and the seafood was really good there.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, one of
Yeah,
my
see,
friend is living there.
seafood is famous here actually because we have plenty of variety in the seafood. You can try a lot of.
Right, right. And actually, I stayed very close to the beach, like around 1 kilometer walk from the beach. I forgot the name of the place, and it was my friend's place. So I went there, and he brought me lots of fishes, crab, and all those stuffs. I really enjoyed eating all of them. And the one thing that I really did not like about Mangaluru, it's a little bit hot and humid weather there. It's more like Chennai,
Exactly.
Chennai's weather. Yeah,
Humidity
right.
is high. Humidity is high. The temperature doesn't. The temperature is not high. Usually the temperature is in moderate range, like
Moderate
25.
range, but the humidity would be high. You always feel sweaty.
Feel the humidity. Yeah, you'll feel the humidity.
Mm,
Definitely, yes.
nice, nice. So how is it going so far?
Yeah, it's going on well, bro. There's no
Yeah.
issue as such because I'm not from the field actually. I'm not from the pharmaceutical field. I don't
Okay.
have a degree in the pharma field, but I'm an engineer basically. I'm a mechanical engineer. So I was
Oh,
working previously as a service engineer for around 5 years, overall 5 years. But later I had to quit the field because I was not enjoying the job that I was doing, and
okay.
also my payment was quite low. The salary was quite low. So I and also there's no growth, much of growth in the service sector. So these are the reasons I then switched to marketing because I was always interested in marketing sales because I
Okay.
love to talk a lot. I love to talk. I like to communicate a lot because this aspect of me I explored when I was in service. Because service, you also have to meet the customers, talk to them, and sometimes ask them the
Right.
problem, what is the problem about, and so I used to have that rapport with the customers. Usually, I see that customers are also feeling comfortable. They are, talking well to me. So, and I felt I should get into a field where I'm good at. Like, I should get into a field where communication is the main thing. Like
Right.
I'm talking to the customer, or something like. So I felt maybe marketing or a sales would be right for me, right job for me. So then
Got it.
I then started trying for marketing sales. Then couldn't get into in my own field like a mechanical because in the sales, yeah, it's like they generally ask you for the experience, like whether you are experienced in the field, then they will consider you. Pressure
Right.
is a bit difficult.
It's
It's
very
well,
difficult to get into
it's a
sales
bit
for
difficult from
freshers.
technical to market. It's a bit difficult. So
Okay.
one of my neighbor who was working as a medical rep, so he then told me like, why don't you try in the pharma field? Like your pay is good, like you have good communication skill. I think you can do well. So I said, okay, let's see. So that's how I started trying, and then that's how I got into pharma.
Nice. Actually, I see that you speak good English. How did you learn English?
Yeah, it's some like I think you also can connect to me like a passion. There's a liking for the language. I think
Yeah.
once you like something or love something, generally you will not find reasons to practice, or you will somehow you'll get that somewhere or some platform and something like that. So for me, I started out in 2021. So during
Okay.
COVID, I was jobless at the time, so I was looking for something, improving on the communication aspect also, because I knew that communication is going to be important. Like if you are facing interviews, especially for us, like engineer who are from the engineering background,
Right.
the professional setup, right? Like companies ask, look at your communication skills, how is your first impression kind of a thing. So you have to give that best impression. The first impression has to be the best. So I thought, I have to work on my communication skills. For me, English was never a problem because I studied in English medium school. So my
Okay.
reading, writing, I grew up, reading, reading, writing was on, like from school days. But
Okay.
speaking, obviously, because of the environment, lack of environment, we never found people around of me. I never found
Most of
people
the
around.
English medium schools in our country, they don't speak English.
Yeah, definitely. We
Yeah,
used to speak, but broken English, like in
broken
school,
English.
right?
One or
So
two sentences.
yeah, one or two sentences and mixing
Right,
the mother tongue in between, something like
right.
that. So 2021 came in. I was jobless at the time. I was looking for a job, searching for a job. At the time, at the time, one of my friend, he was telling me that there's one app called Clubhouse. It's like
Okay.
funny. It's good. Like people are having conversations. It is kind of fun, kind of. So I just installed that app. So now initially it was like for me boring. It was like because I was getting into the wrong rooms. There are
What is
rooms.
it about? Okay, so it will be like
Clubhouse
rooms and
nothing but a audio call kind of an app where you can have conversation with people, multiple people at a time. As like there's a room, as like
okay,
group, WhatsApp you have a group. So something
right.
there's a club and there's a room. Room is like you have live conversation in that room. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can get into that room and there will be moderators who would be controlling the room. Like moderators are the kind of the admins of the room.
Admins, right.
Yeah, something like that. So they will be controlling like who has to speak, who they can mute people, they can remove people, something like that. So I then I went into firstly I went into some cricketing room because I love cricket a lot. So I used to
Okay.
listen to commentaries from a young age and all. So I used to so I just started exploring the app a bit more. So I found some cricket rooms interesting where they're having conversation. People from different places, like from
Okay.
India, like from Tamil Nadu, from
So they
Andhra.
talk about cricket.
Cricket, yeah, about a
Okay.
match, or about a player, or about a tournament, something like that. They have cricket discussion. So I was finding it interesting because I love cricket a lot.
Okay.
So I used to go there and have conversation. That is when I started speaking in the language and started, interacting with them. Then for me, my intentions were, then I started exploring a bit more about that. Then I found some English rooms uh, where they are having conversations in the language like they have come like beginners are there, some intermediate level speakers are there. So then I stuck to English room. So this is where the journey began.
So
And so
you
I
learned English only by speaking. You did not do any other practices like grammar or reading practice, anything like that.
nothing as I told you, English, I knew to how to speak. For me speaking
Okay.
was never a problem. For me that fluency I was lacking because obviously you don't speak the language enough na? Like once in a while you speak, so you'll be
Right.
hesitant to speak. There's like if words are not coming, you are like sometimes you are like blank as to what I have to say next, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I I found that flow, I think, after Clubhouse. I think because once I was regular in the language, so I was like, yeah, means I was speaking very well.
So I want to ask you something. Like if I'm a beginner, I just wanted to learn English. Okay,
Hmm.
what would you suggest? What type of practices or what would you suggest? You said you learned it only by speaking. Other than that, do you have any tips or ideas?
Definitely, I'll tell you, listening. Listening is one important skill because as you might be knowing, English, this language is like divided. There are four skills like reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So these are the four skills. I think if you want to be an overall package, I think you have to master these four skills. If you have
Yeah.
mastered these four skills, you'll be, I think, good to go. I think you'll be in very
So
good in
listening
very
in the sense, what do you listen?
listen. Like I generally ask, people ask me like, what are the ways where you can communicate well? How can you improve? I say just listen to whatever you are interested in. See, for me, I told you, cricket was my interest. So from a
Mm-hmm.
young age, I used to listen to cricket commentaries a lot. I used to listen to the commentators speaking, and
Okay.
their pre-match, after-match interview, after-match talks they'll have like 1 hour before to the match, and after the match they will
Right.
have
Right.
discussion about the match. So that I used to very closely listen to because I love cricket. There's a connecting medium for me as like I love cricket. No? So generally whatever they
Got it.
speak, I understand. I like okay if somebody from US, sorry, Australia, maybe South African, maybe accent wise, I never found it difficult to follow them because I know the subject cricket, right? because I
Got it.
can
Got
connect
it.
to the subject. So that is what I generally say. Once you love something, you just listen to people speaking on that subject. Like you, for me, it was cricket. For you, maybe something cooking or some politics or whatever. People have
Yeah.
a variety of interest, like music. Some listen to music a lot. So you just pick up that interest medium, like whatever you are interested in, and listen to people speaking on that. So
Got
generally
it.
you will pick up because you'll connect to the language and you'll be able to okay just pick up something from the how they
Got it.
speak because these presenters are very good. Their communication is top class. If you see the cricket commentators and all, their
Okay.
English
Okay.
because
Actually, I'm
techniques.
not a very big cricket fan. The thing is,
Yeah,
actually, I'm totally against that. I hated cricket when I was, when I was young, because
okay.
the thing is, I was not good in cricket. First of all, when the boys in my area, when they asked me to come to play, they always give me the last batting. So
Uh,
that
yeah.
so that actually made me to hate that game a lot. So I really hated that. And the last batting means you already know that, right? Very rarely I get 1 over or maybe 3 4 balls they bowl me, and that too I don't play very well. And they put me always in the fielding, and that too very far. I'll be like standing without even knowing what's happening there, what is the score, or which over is going on. So I really hated that game for a very long time. When I
For
was
me,
young.
from a young age, I don't know because
Okay.
I love it generally from school days. Maybe from when I was in fifth standard or something, I started watching a lot of cricket. Started playing. Back then, I'm from the 90s. So,
Okay.
back then children used to play a lot of cricket, outdoor games. I think
Outdoor
now it's
games.
less now. You will not see much of kids playing outdoors and all. But
Right.
earlier back then for me, playing every day, whenever there's a leave, like a holiday on Sunday, usually I'm in the ground playing, like morning to evening, we are in the ground playing cricket,
Nice.
football, cricket. But cricket was constant for me till now. Now I've been watching nowadays, still I play, like Sundays I go to play. There's a place like a ground here.
Okay.
Locally, I play there, like on a Sunday, whenever, yeah, something like that.
Okay.
So,
Nice. Like, were you in any teams, like college teams or any
no.
cricket teams? Were you part
I
of any team?
never
No.
played as like stitch ball cricket, like hard tennis.
Okay.
I just play tennis ball cricket, tennis ball, softer tennis ball, hard tennis ball. This kind of tournaments I go, local
Tournaments.
tournaments.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
not in stitch ball, not in a professional like stitch ball cricket, where I never because I was interested, but for me I was not good in studies back then, like in school days also.
Okay.
I wanted to be into cricket. I was too so crazy for the cricket. My
Okay.
mother was like, I was not good in studies. Like I used to.
Have you ever seen a cricket tournament or a match, like the international match
No,
in a
no, I never
stadium?
been to a
Eh,
stadium. No,
Okay,
I
never been.
have that dream to watch a match in a stadium. Let's
Sure,
see.
sure.
Definitely, I will plan someday.
Nice,
Let's see.
nice.
But that is one thing I also want to, want I myself to explore the, no, experience that in the stadium because the environment will be different compared to your watching it in TV.
Right.
It's not so much of a cricket fanatic. You have to watch it once in a life or like at least
Even
go
I
to the.
never watched it. I never get a chance. Actually, there is a ground in Bangalore. I
Yes, a
think
Bangalore. Famous
cricket,
one.
a lot of cricket matches held there. But when I was there, and some of my friends, they went and watched it, and they asked me to come. But however, I did not go.
Hmm.
I
If you're
usually
not,
don't watch
if
cricket
you're
in
not a
TV also.
follower of, once
Yeah,
you're not a cricket follower, right? So
yeah.
you're not interested. Generally, you will not connect because
The
once you
last
love,
match that I watched cricket was the World Cups. The Dhoni's last six. That
okay,
match I
2000,
watched.
2011.
Yeah, because that is a World Cup match, right? So I was very interested. Okay, let's watch this match. It's a final match. So that's the match that I remember of. Yeah,
Okay. CSK, then Dhoni has been a big fan followers a lot in Tamil, especially Tamil Nadu for
Tamil
Dhoni.
Nadu. Right, right,
Yes,
right.
CSK,
Even
CSK.
those who don't know about cricket, I mean, just like me, they are not very much into cricket. Still, they are a fan of Dhoni or Kohli.
Kohli, yeah.
Yeah,
Dhoni has a great fan following in Chennai, especially because I have a
Chennai.
lot of friends from Chennai, some online
Mhm.
friends. They always keep speaking about Dhoni.
He has die-hard fans.
I heard
They are
fan,
like
yeah,
fans,
crazy,
like crazy fans. Yeah,
yeah, crazy fan.
ready to
Yeah.
do anything for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Cricket
Even
is
most of my
that,
friends. Sorry?
kind of kind of a religion here in India. You see the
Cricket.
crazy following for cricket in here. They are like some they always keep about speaking about cricket. A lot of the people they are like too much into the game. Yeah.
Right. I think the main reason is because this is not our game. This is a British game,
Mm.
and we are able to master it, and we won them a lot of times, and that is why we got this crazy fans. I guess we are able to win them in their games. So
No, the thing is, what
that's how I
happened in
developed. Mhm.
1983,
Mhm.
1983, that is where the turnaround happened for us in India. Because before to that, we never had that much of following.
Okay.
83, we beat the mighty Windies actually. West Indies was a strong team back then in the 80s and the 70s. They were
Okay.
unbeatable. They were like the Australia of the present. If you want to if I want to compare teams, they were something like that Australia of the late 90s and the early 2000s. You might have seen Australia. They were dominating cricket. So
Right.
West Indies was like that back then. So we were minnows actually. Nobody gave us a chance. We beat the West Indies in England, and that is when I think a lot of people became crazy. As like
Fan
we
following
can also
started.
do it. Yeah, somebody from a very remote area like Kapil Dev. They were not big names. Kapil Dev, Mohinder Amarnath, and all these guys were from small places. They
Okay.
went and beat like West Indies, and so at that time people started believing somewhere we can also do it, we can also play, and that I think
Right.
that was a turnaround moment for cricket in India. I think from then onwards you have this crazy following for the game. From then onwards it never changed. I think we have been like that. We have been a
Got
cricket
it.
nation
Maybe,
for
yeah,
that.
that time also we did not have televisions. People used to hear the
Television,
scores in radios.
radios.
Like in one full village, there will be one radio with the connection to a mic setup, and they all
Exactly.
will be hearing the scores. Maybe
You,
that's the
you know,
reason.
one guy from Chennai, Krishnamarachari Srikanth. He was the
Yeah,
opening
Srikanth.
batsman back then. He
Oh,
was famous. He was opening batsman in that squad. 83. You should
okay.
watch that movie. They have also made a movie out of it. 19. It's in Hindi, but you may
Okay.
have the subtitle. Watch it. Ranveer Singh is the actor.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, I've known that movie. Ranveer and Jiva
Tamil,
from Tamil.
Jiva, the actor
Jiva is
is also
there.
there.
Yeah,
He's also there. He's played the Srikanth character in that movie.
Srikanth's character. Who's
Yes,
Ranveer? Kapil Dev's character, Ranveer?
Ranveer Singh. Yes, Ranveer Singh.
Ranveer. Okay. Yeah, I'll try watching that movie. I should watch it.